yesterday there was a report that your contract with the Bengals goes through 2027. Can you confirm if that's true? And if so, the organization decided not to announce it. Do you know why the team decided not to announce it a year after they announced?
I don't think it really matters. I coach every day like it's my last. And I've been through years in 2019, 2020 that were literally you coach every game thinking it could be your last game. And I've seen how we responded after that, 21-22, competing for division titles and championships. And so this year is no different for me. It's going through adversity, coaching every game in this profession like it could be your last one. I have a lot of confidence in our staff that we're going to get this turned around, and we're going to finish the season really strong and put together a great plan to get back to those championships I mentioned. So I'm very confident that we can do all that.
Just for accuracy's sake, though, it is through 2027.
I'm not going to respond to that. I just told you I coach every day like it's my last one.
Zac, we don't get a chance to talk to ownership or Duke. We don't get that opportunity. What kind of assurances have you been given from ownership?
We just talk every week.
Every week you talked about your contract? Or
every week we talk about everything.
When was the last time you spoke about your contract and the status?
It's not really part of our conversation. It's every week we're just trying to create together a great plan to win football games and make sure our team's ready to go, make sure I'm ready to go. So I know that's of curiosity to you guys, but we're just focused on being the Dolphins.
Is it fair to say that's reassessed after the season every year?
You'd have to ask them.
Ask them?
Yeah.
And we don't get that chance.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm just being straightforward with that. We would ask them, but we don't get that opportunity.
Okay.
Is T going through protocol?
Yeah, he's still going through
Is he
protocol.
going to be limited today?
Yeah, he'll be the same as last week. He'll go through practice today. Went through the walkthrough. But again, protocol, so I'm not going to make any guesses on where it ends up.
Is anyone else out this week?
Chris Jenkins will be out for sure. There's some other guys we'll work through the next couple of days, some of the ones we talked about the other day. But don't want to make any prediction on where they end up. But Chris will be the one that's out for sure.
How's Marius?
Amarius looks pretty good. So again, once we get on the field, we'll assess those guys better. But felt really good about Amarius coming out of yesterday.
Was there a conversation about him getting back in the game at some point? Amarius, we didn't see him really with the trainers a ton. I mean, what was that like as y'all went?
I honestly don't remember even at what point it happened as we sit now. So just he was out at that time. Wasn't a lot of conversation. We were just trying to go score points.
Does the confidence that ownership has shown in you give you the peace of mind when you're evaluating young players and trying to rebuild the defense and everything that you've done this season?
Here's what I try to do every day. Make the best decisions so we can win the game. And a lot of that is trying to strengthen your team and your roster by giving opportunity to guys like that, like we've done this season. So I think if you twofold, if you're going to say, well, I'm going to do things because this could, no, I want to do what's best for our team and our program to win immediately, win long term. And so that's every decision. If you're worried about losing your job and that's how you're going to make your decisions, you're not going to be very effective at what you do. And it's been a disappointing year. We're not going to run from that. I'm not going to run from that. And the blame falls at my feet. Nobody else's, truthfully. I got my hands all over this thing. Haven't done a good enough job. I understand that. But I also have seen how this staff can respond and these players can respond because we've been through this before. This is very similar to the end of 2020. It felt very bleak and it was discouraging, and all we did was turn around and respond with back-to-back divisional championships, which is rare to do in this division, play for conference championships, play for Super Bowls. I feel extreme confidence that we know how to do that, we know how to get back to that, and that's exactly what we're going to set our mind to do.
A big thing you guys did in that offseason after 2020, you go get Trey, you go get multiple regions like that. Are you confident in ownership, given that Burrow's making more, Jamar's making, that they'll be able to?
I'm confident that we're going to make the best decisions for the organization. I got a ton of belief in our coaching staff, our scouting department, our ownership, that we are very much in alignment with every decision we've ever made here. And so again, when things haven't been good enough over the course of this season, there's really no one to blame other than me, truthfully. And so I know we all play a piece of this, but I'm the guy that gets to sit there and talk to the team every single week and present plans and make in-game decisions. And so frustrating that I haven't done a good job this year, but a ton of confidence, and maybe it rings hollow to everyone listening, but I know that we've been here before and I've seen how we can get out the other side, and I'm very confident we're going to get that done.
Duke has taken criticism, certainly publicly. Why do you, because I know you believe in him, why do you believe in him?
Because I've worked side by side with him for 7 years now, and I have a ton of confidence in how he sees things and the vision he's got and the vision that we have together. Our scouting staff does a great job, and it's rare that you get a chance to have like a really personal relationship with them and see them and be on the same page and communicate the way that we do. It's not that way everywhere, and so I really like the setup we have, and I think it works well for us and will work really well for us going forward.
Looking at-
Joe feeling for
You'd have to ask him. He's been great so far to my eye. We haven't gotten on the field yet, but again, when you guys get that opportunity, you can ask
Do
him.
you anticipate him practicing today?
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Because he had a very minor limp through the locker room
Okay.
on Monday, and I didn't know if that was nothing, or if you're monitoring that closely, especially now with the team out.
Looking at the roster, it's a very high percentage of guys who have never played in the playoffs here before.
Yeah.
How have you had to adjust the way you present, the things you teach, considering that so many guys just don't know what that's like?
Yeah, a lot of it is we've got a rhythm that we think serves us well. We're never afraid to modify anything over the course of the week. We do that. You do lean on the coaching staff who's been in those games you mentioned. We got a lot of players on our team that have been in those games. And then again, we feel like we've accumulated a lot of guys that have won, whether it just be at the college level, if they're new to our team. And that's a big part of it. So again, that hasn't gotten us where we need to be this year, but there's certainly a winning attitude in the locker room, and guys understand what the standard looks like and do a good job holding each other through that.
Has this been a year where you've kind of felt, kind of the story of the year has been the youth and then you trying to step up and do more and
Yeah.
go through that process?
Yeah, there's an element of that, and there's always going to be years where you find that, where you're trying to balance the vets you have on the team and trying to really bring along young players so that they can presently be good players for you and continue to develop, and you can be in a good spot in the future. So I feel like if you look at all 6 of the rookies we put them all out there, and we've gotten a chance to watch them all play and grow, and I think it's a really exciting class, and I know that we hit on all 6 of them, and I feel really good about it. And so we'll just keep building.
When a team's out of playoff contention, usually goes to maybe developing younger players and focusing on that instead of maybe what the results are. Why is that maybe not a consideration for y'all?
We've played all 6 of our rookies, so.
Well, in terms of even just further down the roster, trying to evaluate everybody, whether they're rookies or not, instead of trying to.
Yeah, I think we're actively doing that. I think we've tried to do that all season, and we'll continue to do it over the next couple games.
Al Golden said on Monday was that the one way he would describe DJ Turner is very driven. He's
Yeah.
been climbing all the time, especially
Yeah.
this season. Your thoughts on DJ, and I know you've talked about his Pro Bowl potential.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on why he's done so well?
Well, I think, again, he's in his 3rd year. So he's had a chance to learn from 2 years of experience of the ups and downs that you deal with in this profession. You deal with playing corner, and going against all the guys he's got to go against. And so I've often mentioned the conversation he and I had in training camp, coming out of training camp when he was coming off of an injury before week 1. And his response was just consistent with all the work that he's really put in over the summer. And so now there's just this extreme consistency there. He's got a confidence that comes with that. You can see when a guy has earned the confidence. There's a lot of guys that can walk around with arrogance or brashness because they're talented, but the work ethic doesn't necessarily match the talent that they have. DJ is a guy whose confidence stems from the work he's put in. And so we've all seen it as players and coaches. And so to see him go out there and play with the consistency he has, it makes you really proud of him, because a guy who's just, all right, I'm facing a little bit of adversity. I'm not starting week 1. I was just told I'm not starting. I think I should be. Didn't say anything about his teammates, thought that they were very deserving of the opportunity they got. I'm just going to go work. And that's what he did. And he got his opportunity, and he's made the most of it. And I think he's having a Pro Bowl year. And so it's just, I think proud's the first. Not that I have anything to do. I don't go out there and coach the corners. That's Chuck, that's him, that's Al, and everything that they're doing. But I am proud just to know the person and the response I've seen from him. That's leadership. Like when you talk about leadership, developing leadership, it doesn't always have to be loud and vocal and all that stuff. Sometimes it can be a go out there and I'm just going to do my job and make sure everyone knows I'm dependable and they can count on me. And that's exactly who DJ Turner has been this year.
Captain potential?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was thinking about this. Go ahead, Butch.
Do you think Shimon has a shot this week? And before he went, had his injury problems, what did you see from him?
I saw a guy that was fighting through injury, and so I think he's just had a tough go of it this season. And it's because just things that have happened to him on the field. And so I don't want to make any declarations about this week because we haven't got out there and practiced yet. I want to make sure we see him practice, and he's got the confidence in that, and we've got the confidence in that before we put him back out there. So again, that's completely up in the air really as we watch him go through the week. But I like, he sits in the front row of the team meetings, man. He's all eyes on me when I'm up there presenting. He does a great job taking it all in. Jerry's office is right next to mine. I can see the attitude he's got every single day, and so I'm fired up when we do get him out there, whether it's this week or not, for the future that he's got here, because he's a guy that I'm really high on.
He seemed pretty active, I mean, like in August, I mean.
Yeah.
Didn't have much of, he didn't have
Absolutely.
anything in the spring, he just seemed to be active before he got hurt against Jackson.
Yeah, and he was healthy, and then he's had to fight through the injuries. That's tough to evaluate any rookie when they're fighting through injuries. We had that last year with Chris. We had him with McKinley. We had some guys that just got dinged up during the season, and they fight through it just like Shamar has done. And so I look forward to getting him on the field and letting him make an impact for us, because I know when he's healthy, he'll be able to do that.
I was thinking about this going back to Miami, and then you mentioned lessons from 2019 and 2020.
Yeah.
In 2019 in Miami, what did it end up meaning, the way Boyd fought back to the line of scrimmage in that one moment when he was hurt, and kind of you're hoping to see some similar things down the stretch here?
Yeah, it shows the heart and the character of the guys we have, that they just want to win. You tune out the outside noise, and you tune out, anybody making a comment to you about a draft pick. None of that's just nonsense. We put every second of our livelihood into winning games and doing everything we can to represent ourselves the right way. And so these types of games are big character games. You get a chance to reveal what we're made of. We know we're not going to the playoffs, but you still get a chance to go out there and fight like we did in 2019. And I remember Eifert picking up TB on triple N and helping him get up, and we clock the ball, and then we throw a vertigo for a touchdown on the next play. And all this tape that we still use today is represented by those guys that started this process for me. The TBs and the Geos of the world, and the CJs, and the guys that fought to build the culture and the foundation that we kept building on over all these years. And we got the guys in the locker room are doing the same thing right now. It's disappointing where we're at, but we're still have a foundation that we're going to continue to build on, and so we can go win divisional titles and conference titles and Super Bowls in the future.
Was that just part of you, when you met Joe? Thank goodness we got out of Miami losing, because we get Joe at number one.
No, you couldn't look at it like that. That's just doing a disservice to the work we put in every single day. If you say, "Oh, you want to go lose a football," absolutely not. I don't think people really understand what the next morning feels like for us when we lose a game. What the bus ride feels like, what the plane ride feels like, what getting up the next day and doing whatever you got to do and trying to get the guys going again on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get ready to play on Sunday. What it does to your family, none of that. So we fight every second to win football games. We don't for 1 second tolerate anybody that says we should do this or that and not focus on winning. So that's what I love when I have a team meeting this morning and you just look in their eyes. Everybody's on the same page. Everyone knows what's at stake here. What's at stake is we need to win the game so we feel better, and so that we can build some momentum for ourselves and then go win the next one and then do things we got to do in the offseason to keep improving our team. But that's our only focus right now, is finding a way to go down to Miami, win the game, get on the bus and the plane with a smile on our face, because it's been too few of those this year.
Going back to what you were talking about with the setup, and you talked about how much you love the input you get to have with the scouts and the setup here.
Yeah.
How willing is the organization, and I'll ask this of you too, but since you're a big part of the draft process, is to look at, you guys had a lot of success that you've talked about with that 21 and 22 seasons, but the last couple of seasons with them all ending in losing seasons, how willing is everybody to look at the process and maybe make tweaks and changes to it if need?
Yeah, I think for a lot of the reasons, everything was praised in 21 and 22. And then you have down years, and it's, okay, you need to change everything. Well, where were those comments when we were doing it very similarly and we were having great years? So for us, everybody is always open to evolving. I can't speak for everybody, but I know just from dealing with everybody in this building, everyone wants to win and do everything it takes to win. And so I know that better than anybody because I interact with everybody. And so I feel extreme confidence that we are all on the same page. All we want to do is win and bring championships here to Cincinnati, and we'll do whatever it takes. To put it in specific words on how that's going to look, that's all for us behind the scenes to work through it and make sure we do all that. But I have absolute confidence that we have the right people and the right setups to make this happen, because we've proven it, and we'll prove it again.
Do you believe ownership in the front office feels the same way about you?
I don't want to speak for anybody, and I get what Mike just said, but I have a great relationship with them. I believe in them. I don't ever want to speak for someone when they're speaking about me. That's unfair. I shouldn't do that. But I love the relationship I have with everyone in this building. The unique thing about this is we get to meet so often, and that's a really good thing, because there's no 3 weeks of no communication face to face. I'm wondering what they think about a game, what they think about none of that. We get a chance to form a relationship and go through all this stuff, and it's the right way to do it. And so again, I'm excited to finish out this season the right way and for the future as well.
Do you think Miami made a change at start quarterback? Looks like they're going to go with Quinn Ewers. What's your overall impression?
I haven't seen that. I mean, I know that was a report. I haven't heard Mike McDaniel say that. So until that, they've got a really good offense. I think that Mike does a great job with the scheme. I don't want to call it unique because we've seen it over the years with him at different places, but he does a really good job being creative and stressing you in different ways, maybe that some other teams don't in the run game, and not afraid to be very creative with how he does it. And so got a lot of respect for Mike McDaniel and the job he does. And I know they ran into tough circumstances in Pittsburgh and cold weather, and that's a good team. And, but it's a very difficult offense, regardless of who the quarterback is. They put a lot of stress in the run game. They do a great job getting guys open with a lot of speed in the pass game that can finish on explosive plays. And so it's a very challenging group to go against.
You've drafted a quarterback in a while, even a couple late rounds. This year, was that a consideration? I know y'all swapped through the QB3 a lot this offseason. Was it a consideration to maybe see what you could get the 7th?
We always evaluate. We always evaluate who's out there and how they fit us. Put up against another position, put up against our quarterback room, and obviously we've done what we've done.
Zach, I know you're focused obviously just on winning the game in front of you, but with 3 games left, what do you want to see out of guys that are, maybe outside of the 4 guys that you have, that when you and Duke go at the end of the season, start evaluating and figure out what you need to do for 2026, what can guys show in these last 3 games to show that they should be part of what you got, part of the plan before you guys figure out what you need to add or improve on the team to get back to where you
continue on the same trajectory a lot of these guys are on. I think with 80 player at the beginning of their career, guys that have gone on the field for us have truly, you can truthfully say, gotten better every single game. And so just continue on with that. And all the work that these guys have put in over the course of their careers, but really starting back in January of putting together a great offseason, all the work they put in the summer, training camp, going through the season, you don't stop now just because of the circumstances we're in. So I expect these guys to continue to give their best. I know they will. And to your question, what are young guys? You just want to see them continue on the same trajectory we've seen them on, especially these last couple weeks.